Welcome back. It is the losers match in this group. First group of the day. DIMAGA versus Cass, TvZ.
Yep, the greatest matchup in StarCraft 2. And Cascade team members going to be facing off each other to see who comes and joins past them to get out of this group.
Mm-hmm. Now the winner of this has to face
they get to face Bjol.
So I don't know if one of these guys is going to be the one to join Hearthstone, but they have a second chance.
I mean, if I was a betting man, which I am, I would say that Bjol gets out there with Hearthstone. But let's watch this unfold before we get too far ahead of ourselves. At the bottom right here, the Terran player, I believe from the Ukraine, this is Kaz.
In the bottom left is the red Zerg. It is DIMAGA.
Is DIMAGA also from the Ukraine, I think. I think they're both from the Ukraine. I really hope I'm not wrong on that because I have made the Russia versus Ukraine confusion before. Which is pretty poor form considering that my family is from the motherland. Stasio wants me to sing you happy birthday on stream. I'm not sure the throat can handle it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I would do a lot for Zombie Grub. I am here casting after all.
Yeah.
In fact, if I came on the Skype call and just sang happy birthday, I think that's the same amount of exertion it takes to cast like a couple hours of StarCraft.
Probably, yeah. There's all the added pressure of having to sing, so I don't know. Doesn't seem.
I don't feel pressure when I sing.
Oh, I think I always feel pressure when I sing happy birthday at the very least.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's a.
I actually, I have one of those. Well, I mean, you know me very well. You're a good friend, but if you guys don't know, I have a bit of a loud voice, and when I'm at a party and we're all singing happy birthday, I tend to drown other people out. So I have to actually take it down a couple notches when I'm at a birthday. Sometimes I just mouth the song without actually singing it. Because it's so easy to pick mine over the other people's. Like people turn their heads and look at me when I do it. So
what a problem to have.
Yeah, it's a little bit too loud.
Yeah.
A little bit too loud.
Well, it's pretty interesting. Well, I confirmed for you, by the way, they both are from Ukraine. Just easy
Thank you.
worries.
Great. Oh God, I wouldn't have been able to sleep.
Yeah. Actually, I was trying to think of who is Russian, because Bly is Ukrainian as well, and then Braddock, maybe?
Yeah, Braddock, who's also in this tournament, by the way, I believe.
There we go.
I mean, Slivko was, but don't think he hasn't played anymore.
A while ago.
Yeah, that is a large man, by the way, Slivko. Is someone I met in 2013. Nice positioning on these lanes, complete surround on that Reaper there. DIMAGA's played on Newkirk Precinct against Reaper Expand before, by the looks of things.
Oh, who'd have thunk it? Well, the grenade wasn't too bad, and the Reaper does come back in, seeing as they're not speedlings yet, and in fact that speed is pushed off a little bit, so they won't be speedlings for quite some time. It can maybe get 1 or 2 drone kills. Overlord gets in here, free of charge, and sees that it is going to be a Hellion opener. Of course, a starport on the way. I guess it could have been 3rd CC or starport, so good confirmation there.
Yeah, nice little Overlord Scout does see what's up, and he's not being super greedy. He's in fact probably going to go for the Hellion Ferry play that he went for in versus Bjol. Didn't work out super great. I think he did it on Abyssal. Loaded up a medevac with some Hellions. No, wait, he just died on Abyssal. What game am I thinking of?
You know, I'm trying to think of with you, and it's
a Belshire, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was
Belshire.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there we go. So, so the Hellion Ferry play quite nice. Speaking of ferry play, looks like DIMAGA is going to go for a little bit himself. He has an Overlord on that position there. It's just drop night tonight. It's just, well, I mean, it's night for me, morning for you. Drop morning for you. It's your birthday, so it's whatever you want.
Okay, then.
It's drop afternoon.
Gotcha. It's weird, though. Like, I wouldn't really consider this a move to do against someone who opens with Hellions. Now, DIMAGA doesn't know it's Hellbats. He hasn't seen the armory, but, like, it's almost like a 50-50. But even against regular Hellions, I wonder if this is really the best move. Because it's very unlikely that you'll drop on top of the Hellions so well that you get a surround on them. And if they're microed 4 or 6 at a time, like, they clean up a lot of lings.
Oh, yeah. And this is actually different from Kaz. He got the quick armory, so this is actually going to be Hellbat and Cyclone. This is something different than what he whipped out against Bjol, and I actually really love this Let's move from cars. Queen's loaded up into this Overlord, and this is something that's been hitting the meta apparently.
Yeah, the Queens do add a little bit of extra elements where the Hellions maybe aren't as good as they were, but Koss also got a Viking and 2 Cyclones. Like, he obviously prepared for this. I think he saw the Overlord, like, way over here, moving forward, and, of course, saw a lack of a third base, so he was onto this very early on. Transfuse it to use on the Overlord. Does take out the Viking, but doesn't do any damage besides that, so not
Yeah, and these lock-on Cyclones completely going to kill this Overlord when, I mean, there's no more Transfuses left, and they're going to go down. Whoa, bye, Queens. That's a nice pick off there for Cars. Strong start.
Yeah, DIMAGA is following up with Roaches, so he'll have a defense, but his third base is pretty late. He's at even workers, which is not great for TvZ, TvT, and the third CC is on the way for Koss. I mean, he might be hardcore denied here. Two Cyclones probably the scariest thing up against these Roaches. Hellbat's not so much. But even if he doesn't run away, it still put him in a good position.
This is a nice little move here from DIMAGA, chipping away at that supply depot wall here. There's not a whole lot from Cars to be able to stop this because his units are all on the other side of the map. In fact, it looks like it's going to go down. Oh!
Okay, that was close.
Oh, damn, that was close. Yeah. Clutch SCV repair there from Cars. Does keep the wall alive. The Marines, more than enough to be able to handle this. Roaches coming up here from DIMAGA. Is it enough Roaches, though? Medevac going to make things a little bit difficult.
For sure. For sure. The Hellbat's not only taking care of the Lings, but also getting a little bit of splash damage on the Roaches. But it looks like it's going to be enough Roaches in a concave.
Wow.
Can't save that last Cyclone.
Got him. So the third hatchery is still alive here, which is obviously nice to DIMAGA. God, DIMAGA's skins look good. He's got the Super Roach, and he's also got the Bone Ravager. What a good look.
They're pretty cool looking. Spiky.
They look like spiky, yeah.
Like knuckles.
Yeah, they are like knuckles. I like it.
Well, there's no Overlord over here. That's a little awkward. Roaches are moving across the map, though, and DIMAGA has not been able to really larva inject, I suppose. He's got Overlords and drones on the way, but still banking quite a bit. He's going to try and attack in here, but Koss has a bunker, and he has production now finally set up here. I think he's going to hold.
With the bunker and also siege tanks on the way, and the Liberator, I should say as well, a very, very important unit. He should be okay. Liberator here. I mean, the Lings did make a hole, but there is a lot here for the Terran to be able to block it.
Wow, didn't expect the third base to go down. It was a Cyclone and 2 Marines, but it was already at half health, so not being responded to quick enough, DIMAGA loses the hatchery and doesn't do any damage. The supply depot went down on this side of the map.
Oh man, speaking of lockdown, Cars just doesn't look very breakable right now. He had a bit of a supply cap there that he's dealing with now, getting those supply depots down. And he's just got to amass a big 1-1 army here. I believe he already has Stim, getting combat shield for those Marines, and that is a Terran force to be reckoned with right now. DIMAGA is basically doing what he did when he lost his hatchery against Arstum, double expanding to try and make up for it. At least he didn't lose his lair.
At least. He is going for an infestation pit, which I like, but I don't really know about the hive. I think, like, you know, one of the biggest things that you don't have when you go for an all-in is well, one, economy, of course, especially depending on what type of all-in you do, but mostly it's those upgrades. Like, it's almost always definitely the upgrades. So the +1 Carapace is on the way, but, you know, 2/2's already in the way for Koss. If you just go for fungal corrosive bile, that kind of negates the need for upgrades and can buy you a ton of time to get to upgrades or to get to better units. Just going straight to that hive, as Koss is getting ready to push out, all I need to do is scan and see the intention of DIMAGA, and he'll probably move out. I don't know if it's going to be something that DIMAGA can hold until he can get to, I assume, Ultras.
Yeah, it's a little ways away, though. He is getting, yeah, it definitely looks like he wants to go for Ultra because he is getting the upgrades for them to sort of signify that, but, Ultras are good, but are they good enough to come back from a situation like this? I suppose so. They are pretty good.
Yeah, if they can get chitinous plating, they would actually just totally take care of the Marine force here. But, I don't know. I don't know if I have the time. 2 medevacs loaded up, the rest of the army moves forward. I mean, there's an okay army for DIMAGA, but down almost 20 army supply when you're the one going Roach Ravager is usually not a great sign.
Yeah, and he's putting a ton of resources into powering up the tech tree as well, desperately trying to get these tier 3 Ultralisks out, but Kaz is hitting a timing where we may not see that happen. He's got, well, actually, plenty of DIMAGA in the main. Oh, he does actually evacuate the main at a... Wow, these medevacs not being controlled right. Kaz looks like he's actually going to lose the medevacs in the main. And DIMAGA's bringing a Zerg trap here. Ravager's hitting from the top and from the right here with a Roach Meat Shield. They're going to clean this up.
Looks like it. He's going to pick up what he can. The medevac drops in the main. Did get fully unloaded. Killed the queen. Going to take care of anything that runs up that ramp.
Oh, the Ultra Cabin.
Okay, yeah, good focus fire to get that. So much for that timing.
Yeah. Ultra Cabin goes down. That's going to slow things down for DIMAGA even more. I think Kaz lost one medevac there, but he still has some Marines up here touching this hatchery here. I can't even tell what number hatchery this is. I think this is hatchery number 4. Because he's had to remake them several times, but we have the Ultra's Cabin on the way, 2-2 on the way, 3-3 on the way for Terran. Just devastating for the Zerg. Not a situation they want to be in.
Nah. I mean, he would have had Chitinous Plating on the way, and that might have been enough of a timing. Yeah, bye, Kevin. We don't need you anyways. But that might have been good enough of a timing to hold on, continue building his economy back up, and then really take control over the game. But now he's got to wait a little bit longer. But it catches Koss. Maybe when Koss wasn't willing to take a fight. Tank does protect the bio as it backs off. Well, apparently there's internet problems.
Oh, it's a shame.
I don't know if I'm supposed to stop for that, but I'm going to just assume not
yeah.
for now.
They had their chance.
Yeah.
This is our game now.
Exactly. Well, 3-3, or 3-2 rather, but 3 Carapace is on the way, and that's impressive that DIMAGA's gotten to this point. Kept it even on the supply. Koss has a 4th base already on the way, more production on the way too, but if he... I mean, there's a lot of Terrans have trouble against Ultras, so... I don't think he's at quite the foolproof, I'm going to definitely win no matter what stage yet.
Doom drop into the main with some Liberators on support by the looks of things here, and this is a scary little move for the Terran player. If this comes in without being... I mean, the army of DIMAGA is completely out of position, so this looks like it's going to do quite a bit here.
Yeah, army all the way over here, and still not too impressive of an army. It's going to have trouble going up that ramp as well. The Corsair Biles will be thrown down first, and that'll buy a lot more time. Once again, target firing the Ultra Cavern. Are you kidding me? Oh. Never going to happen.
And this Ultra's pops out of an egg in the main. Feels bad, man, for that Ultra. Oh, another one in the natural. Oh.
Yeah, the Ultra's just dying every which way. Tries to desperately attack with his Roaches and Ravagers, but there's tanks and a lot more bio on the defense. If he really had to, he could just lift and wait for them to come to the natural too. This is the game over point for DIMAGA.
Yeah, Kaz has Doom Drop did so much for him here, and he's holding on strong at the home as well. DIMAGA trying to counterattack with damage, and Kaz saying, no, stop. It's got too much from that 3rd base. Not going to come through.
Exactly. The denial on the Ultra's Cavern must be just so hard for DIMAGA to take. Yeah, he got it killed twice. Once it kind of splitting on the way. Maybe that could have been 3 Ultras trying to attack in here with the fungal. Oh, damn, that was one.
It is with the fungal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there it is. So they fungal the units, but there is a medevac here who's going to keep a lot of those alive, and the Infestor goes down, and that is going to be it for DIMAGA in game 1. He'll be tapping out any second here. He is dead. Deader than Disco. He is Dunyan Rings.
What?
It is all ogre. There it is. Done.
Disco never dies.
It's on life support. It's being kept alive through old clubs with jukeboxes.
Apparently France loves disco, which I was glad to hear. France,
yeah, there are countries that won't let things go. The UK is also keeping dubstep alive. I've been told as well.
Dubstep can go away.
Yeah, esports and the UK seem to be keeping dubstep alive for the most part. They're feeding dubstep fans the belief that it's still going to be around for a long time. And it's not, and dubstep's not going to actually be around for a long time, like StarCraft will. You know how people are like, haha, Maynard, you keep talking about dead genre, but you're literally casting dead genre right now. Lol, lol, kek, XD. No, that's not actually true. StarCraft will be around forever, so sorry about that.
Yeah, around forever.
Forever.
I gotta admit, I'm not a fan of dubstep really, but hearing some of those mixes throws me back to watching Idra. So
yeah,
feels good.
Yeah, those days. There's been a lot of, I mean, this is kind of a nostalgia trip here. I mean, we talked about when we first heard each other, MLG days. We talked about AHGL. We talked about, I mean, we're casting Kaz and DIMAGA BlizzCon 2011, Code S, MMA, MVP.
Yeah.
This has been a trip down memory lane. I'm having a great time. This is the kind of things that happen when you get older, like Zombie Grub did today.
Wow.
You start to look back.
That's why. That's why.
I was trying to keep a straight face while I was saying that. I love deadpan, but I just struggled. I can't do it.
I'm officially old now.
Yeah, and you can't actually say that to me while we're in the same phone call.
It's true. I guess
you are catching up there.
Yes, one day.
That's how time works. Don't correct me. Belshire for game 2 here. Cars currently up 1-0 against DIMAGA, and I really enjoyed game 1. That was a very strong game from Cars. I would hate to face this guy on ladder as a Zerg. It'd be very hard to stop.
Wasn't Cos like a ladder beast at one point? I actually don't know what it is nowadays.
I think so. I know. I remember Cars and Happy. I mean, Happy's a Russian, not a Ukrainian, but Cars and Happy being two Terrans that were ladder monsters with completely different styles on EU. Like they would grind thousands and thousands of games per season.
Yeah. All right, now
grinders.
Yeah, there's I feel like the term ladder hero, of course, now just a tournament, but it was the purpose of being kind of a play on what is usually sometimes even a BM thing to say, just a ladder hero, can't even perform in tournaments, but I feel like it's
I'd be happy with being a ladder hero. I
mean, yeah, I would too, right? But I guess it sucks when it never translates fully into ladder or to tournament play, but I haven't heard that term used legitimately for a player in a while. Usually their performances eventually happen, or it's more about how many custom games they've played and how well they're doing against already high-ranked players in that. All right. Yeah, we were just waiting on Kevin, as the apparently just internet problems all over the place. So now that it's fixed, we're good to go. In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, it is DIMAGA.
That's right. And in the top left, winning game number 1, this is Cars. Really cool to see DIMAGA and Cars face each other in 2017 in Legacy of the Void, the greatest expansion, the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
Feels good, man. They're still here. Crazy.
Yes, it is. Speaking of throwbacks, I suppose. Oh, no. I was going to say it took a long time.
Kevin!
Oh.
We're good, right, fam. We're good.
We good. Anyway, speaking of nostalgia, I was thinking back to not like what it used to be like in Heart of the Storm Wings of Liberty, although that is fun to think about, but rather what it was like first playing Legacy of the Void.
Sorry, what say again? I missed that. I was reading Kevin thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you ask players if it lags for them?
I leave.
Wait,
I guess that has to be up to you.
Can you ask players if it lags for them?
I mean, if we're admin, we can do that.
Well, I mean, is he giving them an alternative, or is he asking did he lag?
Yeah, it's confusing.
Let me ask them if you should leave. Ah.
Wow.
Okay, he just left, I guess.
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay. Well. Alright, problem fixed. Anyways, I was talking about the first time playing Legacy of the Void. Like, not what it used to be like, but just the first time I played it in BlizzCon. And I was talking to someone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about how we, like, that was the first... maybe that wasn't the first BlizzCon. Been 2 BlizzCons or 3? Okay, I can't remember. But the point is, when Legacy of the Void was released, no one knew anything about it, or was announced rather. No one knew anything about it. So you walk into BlizzCon and you have like suddenly all these like news reporters, writing like, "Oh my god, they have 12 workers at the start now," and you're just like, "No way, what the hell?" And you like run up to the press area where you have special access. And I remember thinking the game was so fast paced compared to Heart of the Swarm, just so much faster and so much more to do. And I wonder if that's still true or balanced out. Because, I haven't played Heart of the Storm in a long time. I don't remember.
I'd be interested to see. Actually, I think one of the best ways to do it is that the games... Oh, that's a drone kill, by the way. Nice move with this Reaper. And if it goes straight to the edge and stops kiting, it'll live. There it goes.
Damn.
That's a really nice start for Cars already. Getting a drone with your scouting Reaper is almost unheard of at the very, very high levels. Anyway, also losing your Reaper sucks at the very, very high level.
Queens.
Yeah. Off creep. So the Reaper dies there. Nice pick off for DIMAGA. I definitely would rather lose a drone than lose a Reaper. But Yeah, like, as you were saying, the older versions of StarCraft have been archived for us through old GSL VODs. I think that's the best way to look back and see if it's the same or not, or if it's something that you can't really tell without getting your hands on it yourself.
Yeah, I feel it might be that. I just remember, I mean, the blog post I wrote is still up from like years ago, but it was the feeling of having too much to do because there's so many new units and like so many units that require a lot of micro.
I feel like in the early stages of the game, there's just as many things to do in the early stages.
Yes, that's true.
But you know, it's maybe later in the game, sure.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Like I know that I actually have never played Protoss before, except for like a month ago or whatever when I did it on stream for 2 weeks, and I found controlling late game Protoss armies very overwhelming for me.
Oh yeah.
As a Terran player that is used to having siege tanks and marines and maybe 3 hotkeys worth for my army, and then having a Protoss army which has like 3 different spellcaster hotkey groups, as well as like my adept ball that I need to shade, as well as my sentries which I need to use force fields for.
Yeah.
And trying to control that against like a huge Zerg force on creep, I'm like, how do you guys do this? Like, Protoss is not an easy A move race, like I was led to believe by Reddit all these years. Like, this is really tough.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was like what convinced me that Protoss, or that Legacy of the Void was a lot more action, was actually playing Protoss, because you're also experimenting a lot with disruptors when it first came out, and just like trying to get those to work, especially because in the first iteration they were different. They're more like Reavers.
Yeah, they shot themselves at one point in the beta. I played a fair bit of the Legacy of the Void beta.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun trip down memory lane. I think that things have evened out, but I still like Legacy of the Void, of course, the most out of all the expansions. But DIMAGA is making a ton of roaches, not joining up his third base.
Yeah, he's going for a big attack here. The third base is basically just an attacking unit production structure right now. He's not joining that up. Woo, nice little winter mine drop here from Cars, but a split from DIMAGA. Does he save his drones?
Whoa.
Yeah. Not much damage at all.
Didn't expect that. Alright, well, the Vikings saw no drones at the third base, and the Medivac saw the roaches, so Kaz should be getting a bunker. But not much else.
He's getting a bunker, but, there's some add-on switching and that sort of thing happening right now in Terransville. And he's not going to have too many of the siege tanks, which is the unit that he needs more desperately than others. Cyclone's going to be nice at the front here. Cyclones and bunkers can hold a lot. Third CC may need to be cancelled, depending on if DIMAGA goes for it or not. He's broken down the supply depot. The Roaches and the Ravagers knocking on that front door.
This might just be holdable. The third CC does finish. Supply depots go down, but still not supply blocking costs. Medevac even helping out the tiniest little bits. SCVs hold positions so the Cyclones don't die. He's just needing to buy time until he has production, but it's not quite ready to go. Another bunker finish, but no Marines really to put in it. This looks like maybe it's too much. Roaches are going down. Gonna target fire those Cyclones. He's letting them live way too long.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was about to say the exact same thing. These Cyclones are shredding the army of DIMAGA apart, and he's just been concentrating on killing SCVs, or maybe not looking at his army. They were just sort of A-move there. Yeah, and this third CC looks like he's going to kill that, which is great for DIMAGA, but tanks are out now, so I don't know if Kaz is going to die. Oh, that said.
Focus firing on top of the Ravagers. He does get the third CC, though. That was a big mistake from Kaz. He had time to try and save that. So 16 SCVs, back down to 2 CCs. That might be enough damage now. I mean, otherwise, Kaz is definitely in the lead, but losing that third CC is brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with you. And the natural CC is actually eating a lot of biles as well, getting it down to half hit points. And, DIMAGA may be cleaned up here, but it's put Kaz in a pretty terrible spot economically. There's no third CC on the way either to make up for the fact that he lost that other one. He's just sort of making units. He's getting upgrades. Tank count's starting to get up as well. And yeah, so like I said, he does clean up DIMAGA, but DIMAGA has an all right situation here. He's making a bunch of roaches here. Even though he hasn't been droning for a while, he still has 13 more workers than the Terran, or did at that point.
Yeah, I guess just really aware of how much army was just chasing those Ravagers, felt a little paranoid, so got those Roaches first. I think he's good on the Roaches, though, especially if he turns them into any Ravagers. Like, that's going to be 19 Roaches versus 13 Marines and 2 tanks. If he gets any sort of surround or surprise, I think that's good enough, and he can go back into droning. A little supply blocked right now, and of course, we'll be missing those upgrades. It's definitely a department Cost is winning in.
Yeah, he's got 1-1, or he's getting 1-1, I should say. Marine's getting a little bit of roach Roach spit in their faces there. Getting a little low. That Cyclone very important as well. Tanks. Oh, one gets picked off by the Roaches.
Trying to be a little too fancy right there. DIMAGA didn't have Roach speed, so I think there was an opportunity for Koss to continue sniping Roaches here and there, but losing that tank was not what he wanted. I'm going to go for the third now, but none there.
Yeah, too many Roaches. Too much Zerg on the dance floor. We got a Infestation Pit on the way here, which is going to marry up very well with this Roaches and Ravagers once that gets done. I think that's just going to be possibly for straight up Infestor, although DIMAGA does love getting those Ultras out, and he is getting 1-1 melee. That medevac getting a little low there. That's a medevac with a very expensive payload as well, so cannot be losing that.
Yeah. Considering he went for a Hive last time, I guess we'll say, okay, there you go. Hive on the way now as well. I do think Infestor is the safer way to start off with, but in this game specifically, he has eyes on the army and knows that it's a pretty small army after killing the third and so many SCVs. I think this is the right call this game, is to try and just get to Ultras as fast as possible.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. These Roaches are getting a little low, but that's more than enough to be able to overwhelm this Terran army here. 1-1 be damned. It's just too many units here from the Zerg. Cleans up the kills the tank, knocks back and kills a lot of the bio, and Kars retreats back home trying to get the third CC up, and he looks like he has gotten the third CC up, sitting into an orbital right now. But DIMAGA's got a fourth hatchery on the way, and a very healthy drone count as well. So
64 is pretty good. Viking is looking for overlords to kill, but hopefully, really, it'll scout the Hive. It scouts 2 evolution chambers, can't tell very much from that, and does duck in. Alright.
Sees them spikes.
Thank you very much to the people who are still donating bits, by the way. I think there's also
that bit boss battle's actually heating up a little bit there.
A little bit, yeah. There's also a resub of 4 Haley for 2 months a while ago. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. We were casting StarCraft.
I know.
It happens from time to time on BaseTradeTV.
Believe it or not.
Stim in for these Marines. Nice little move here from Kars. Not too much.
Don't get the Ultras cavern again.
Yeah, the Ultra Sniper. No, he's not target firing. He's got the Marines in a lovely spot, using the mineral patches to his advantage here, cleaning up the lings, and then getting pulled out. Not doing a ton of damage. He's got a queen and a few lings there. The real damage is over here. He's trying to get this fourth hatchery, but still, DIMAGA. Too many Zerg units in the right spot at the right time.
Well, yeah, Koss going for that main base. He saw the army move away with this medevac, so he knew that it would be a little bit open. Doesn't load into lings. Upgrades are finished, about to have +2 armor as well, and that might just be really showing here as the Roaches get destroyed. No upgrades for DIMAGA.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, he saves it. Saves it.
Wow, I would have absolutely overextended and tried to kill those 2 every chance. Yeah, I get such a boner for trying to kill upgrade, like forges, engineering bays, and evo chambers. If you bait me with those structures, I will absolutely overextend to kill them.
Yeah.
I prioritize upgrades a little bit too hard in my games.
And I really think that might have been worth losing a handful of units. Of course, not the entire drop.
Oh, if you ask me, absolutely, I would have killed both those before I left, and I don't care how much little I would have had afterwards.
But I think those could have been really good kills. Koss is also hoping maybe to deal with the Ultras like he did last game. He's really running out of time to do that though. Just kind of moves into this army.
Bile's taking out that siege tank. There's still quite a bit of bio here, and it is 2-2 upgraded, as you mentioned before. This Ultralisk not upgraded, as you can see, as it evaporates from the playing field here, and that fourth hatchery is going to go down as well.
Uh-oh. Koss maybe starting to snowball a little bit here. Another Ultra without chitinous plating. This one could also be target fired. There it goes down. It's good. That's really good for Koss.
Shreds the army of DIMAGA there. Holy crap. Plenty of medevacs with plenty of medevac energy as well. DIMAGA is sending 2-4 units again, and that's it. Kars getting a 2-0. And what does he get for his troubles, Zombie Grub? He gets another series against Bjol.
Yeah. That's the rematch, right? So
I believe so.
Hopefully you learned a little bit from their previous series. Before, Bjol did 2-0. Thought Bjol would be getting out first, however, and then Harasum took it, so maybe that gives Koss a little bit of hope.
Oh, man. Yeah, maybe he's feeling a little bit better about his TvZ after sorting out DIMAGA in a pretty action-packed series there. 2-0 as well. Mm-hmm. We also know that Bjol, as great as he is not invulnerable.
Exactly. But so we're going to be going to a commercial break while we get an NA and get their vetoes done. So thanks for watching, guys.